good morning. So I did it. I went to Scarlett's and to Lida's and I took all those things to them. It was an awesome thing to do, and I got home and now it's snowing really hard. It was pretty tricky, you know, like Scarlett lives way back in the woods and there's a lot of hills and we've had a lot of ice and the roads were, I had to put it in first gear to make sure that I stayed on the road, and you know, and then I had to go in second gear to go up hills. I'm so glad to have gears, you know, but when I was in drive it was just pushing me too fast, even when I wasn't trying, you know, and I was going slowly. And then once I got there I came back on a straighter flat road. That was okay, and then I went to town and made my second delivery, and I had thoughts about going to a store, and I thought, no, but I did fill up my car with gas, because I know it's always important to have a full tank of gas when you're going into a storm or something. So I made some little tiny videos, 15-second ones, as I came back, just to show the roads on the way. Earlier, the roads were not bad this morning. I mean, except what I just told you. But then on the way back, now we have an inch of snow at home, and it's snowing pretty hard. I can show you that later. So I was inspired by what I was able to do yesterday with you, making that bread and the Christmas stone and the cookies. That was really cool. So I think today I'd like to try and use coconut flour. I never used coconut flour, so I'm going to try something very simple like coconut flour cookies. Don't know how many eggs I have left. But if you don't have eggs, you can always use oatmeal. You make some oatmeal and you whip it up so it's really stringy and stretchy, and then use about the size of an egg for an egg. You don't have to fill an empty eggshell. That would be like going overboard. Even I wouldn't do such a thing. But I did learn the other day, somebody told me that if you crack an egg on a flat surface, you won't get broken eggshells in your batter. But if you crack it on the side of the bowl, which is what I've always done, you're more likely to get little pieces in there. Hold on, I got a piece in there, and I cracked it on the surface. Boy, this floor is filthy. Oh my gosh. I have to change the end of my vacuum cleaner. Something's wrong with the plug-in. I have to cut it off and put a new one on. I could do that, I guess. Where did I put my vacuum cleaner? I don't even know where it is now. I haven't seen it lately. Maybe it's still in the bedroom, but then I would have had to walk by it, and I don't remember walking by it. Okay, that's that. Oh, I figured out what was wrong with my shoulder, why my shoulder hurts. It's because I was pulling wool. You see this fleece? You see, if you do this, then all the dirt falls out of it. Not much of the dirt has actually fallen out of this, but anyway. And when you do it a lot, after a while, it was hurting my shoulder, I guess. Because my shoulder woke up kind of not feeling good. This is pretty crummy fleece. I think I'm going to stick it in the wash. Let's just check that out. I have to remove the other things that are in there. It's pretty coarse wool. But it's been pulled once. It's already been washed, but anyway, I'll put it on wool. Number 10. Okay, there we go. Shall we sit down? Swinging just made my legs weak. I'm so glad I'm home safely. It's so nice. And I had to stoke the fire again. Here, I'll show you what this weather looks like out here. Oh, first I must show you my potato. Ta-dum, ta-dum. Isn't that cool? And here's the other one. And there's another one. And there's a couple. These, I planted them in the center. Like I planted one here and one here, and so they've gone a roundabout way to get there. Look at this storm. You want to hear it? It's cold out there. I'm home. I did it. I did it. I did it. You know what I want to do? I want to make a little tiny birch bark basket. Shall we do that? What do I need to use to do that? I have a piece of birch bark I saw this morning when I was rummaging here somewhere. I thought I put it over here. Maybe it fell down behind. Nope, unlike many other things. I had it here today. See, here's another bag of fleece, which needs to be pulled. You see, it's got all this stuff in it. And if you pull it, you can pull all of the crap, and most of it falls out. You know, if you want to card it, you can, but I find that before carding, this is a good thing to do. So I think I'll sit in front of my chair and pull wool. But I want to make a basket, a little basket out of birch bark. So let's find the birch bark. I think there's some right here. We'll use this. You have to heat it. Let's put it in the oven. I already started the oven because I was cold and I just wanted to. Look at the snow collecting up there. That yellow cord is so I can have power in the teepee down there. Look how dark and dirty that water is. This is good to wash it. 10 is wool. Looks pretty fast going for wool. It's what it's. I have a little chickadee in there. I'm so glad I'm in my nice, warm, cozy home. Yay! Okay, so I shall take my birch bark, which is not bendable, and we will put it in the oven. Oh, we have to change our rack. We're gonna have birch bark for dinner. So I think that the best way to make the right size for it to make a proper square or a proper rectangle or something is to take a piece of paper and fold it. So let's use a piece of this lovely yellow construction paper. How are you guys? Are you fine? Is everybody good today? And if not, how can you become fine? Troll. Okay. I don't know if that's a bot that does that or if it's actual people. Because I doubt it's, I don't know, but I get them away and they come right back. Alright, so keep our eye on this. Oh, look at that already. Look at this. What a difference. It can completely unbend. but it's got a rip in it. So let's look at this and let's find the biggest square in it that we can have. So from here to here, I guess. Let's fold this in half. See if that's the right size. Now, there's another rip in it here. You know, I could do it with the rip, but it's better not to. I'll just make something small on that side. Let's just work on this part here, okay? So this is not big enough, so we'll have to fold our paper a little bit differently. Okay, there we go. So let's cut our bark. Now, could this go farther? This could go all the way to from there. Go all the way to there, I guess. It's nice to go with the lines, though. Let's go with the lines. These holes don't matter in some containers. They kind of look nice, actually. And even. I'm going to put it back in just a little longer. It's in at 350. We're cooking our birch bark. Isn't that lovely? Now, is anybody here yet? Good morning, good morning. Hi, Suze, and hi, Susan. I did it. I'm sorry you were worried about me, but I did it. I went and delivered those things to my daughters, and they were both very thrilled. It was nice to do. I'm such a nice person. It makes me feel good to do something nice for someone else. Especially see their big smiles. All right, that's better. Okay, so let's cut this piece. Let's decide on what we want to do. See, it just seems like it would be nice to have it that long. So if I went up to here, but then the lines would be crooked. So we can actually, go with the lines. Okay, so we'll cut this with our scissors. It's almost like cutting soap when it's nice and warm like this. Some people say to put your birch bark in water, but I've never found that to be a good idea. So now I could make a really little basket out of this part. From here to here. That's not right. Okay, Nancy, you're going to have to remove that. I don't want to. Okay, let's turn it then. Go up this way. You see it? The lines are not staying even. See the lines here. If I line up the paper with the lintel, and those are the lintel, then down here they're not lined up. So I guess it really doesn't matter. Now, can I go over further? Yeah, I've already got this a little too big here. But that's not going to matter. This could, okay, we'll just cut that there and we'll make another box out of that part. So the next thing we do is we scratch the back of it. Let's take this. You remember doing this, don't you? When we did this before. Try and get you so you can see the right thing there. Okay. You do it off the edge. You don't have to. Now this will get dirty if you let it. I'm going to use a paper towel. It's good to do this when your floor is dirty. Because if you do it when your floor is clean, well, you know what that means. Big mold. See, if I don't take that off, it's going to stain this whole thing. Surprised I'm doing this. It's because the room is clean. The room is already clean, and I can do stuff on it. Good morning, Ellen. How sandpaper would work. Let's go get some sandpaper and we'll try, because you'll never learn something new if you don't experiment, right? And if it doesn't work, then we know. This is very fine sandpaper. We'll use this. I don't want to use rough sandpaper. A snowy day. Isn't this wonderful to be together on this snowy day? With our hot drink. Where's my hot drink? I thought I had it in my... I put it in the microwave because it was not warm enough. Ah, much better. Whoa, that's too sweet. Now, if you wrap this around a piece of wood, let's get a piece of wood. Where's some piece of wood? Oh, wood, oh, wood, oh, wood, oh, wood. Why would I look here for a piece of wood? That's a silly thing to do. I'll show you this basket. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to make. See? But the bottom of this is not square. You see, it's... So that's why I wanted to use a piece of paper to make the bottom square. There is a piece of wood I saw here. There's a few pieces of wood, actually. Let's use this piece of wood. My son made this when he was at my parents' house when he was a little boy. He used, I guess he used a star screwdriver and he hammered it in. Okay, so look at that little face he's got on the back. Okay, so we'll wrap it around like that. Okay. Let's see how it works. It doesn't really work very well. Maybe it does need to be a coarser grind. Hi Regina, you're back. Hello, hello. And if you said you spend a lot of time with your grandchildren. Do they live nearby? Let's get some coarse ones here. Yes, I do have all these old ones. This is pretty coarse. That ought to work. From drywalling, from when they did the house, you know. Another look at the snow. And the beautiful on the trees. Sorry about my yellow cord. Check out the color of the water. Okay, back to the grindstone. You think it would work better if this was wet? See, when I was showing you this, I wanted to show you something. See, this has got a crack in it there, right? And it's got another hole in it there. And this is split. This split part is not very good. But I don't think that it's bad for it to have that. I think this should have been on top because that's more prettier, as they would say. I'm gonna wet it. Maybe it will look better. Yeah, this is definitely working better. But I needed to use the knife to begin with because it needed to be ground down. Look at the difference. So we're going to make a birch bark box. Look at all these little holes. Those are probably made by the yellow-bellied sapsucker. Or maybe not. Look at how they're... I didn't even notice all the holes before. Would you like to be up higher? Would that be better? Oh, that's as high as you go. Sorry. I was just working on it. This is one of those drywall things. We had many left over, which are mostly no good anymore, but they're good for fine, I guess. This is still pretty rough here. We should use a vise. Hold this on with a vise. Let's wipe it off and see how we're doing. Battery already. I'll have to get my cord. Okay, let's go get the cord. Because your health is important to me. We'll just plug in your IV, then you'll have lots of energy. Where is it? It's not there, it's not there. I bought all these extra ones. And then promptly have lost them, I guess. Well, I keep taking them out and moving them to other places. Okay, put it in there. And I'll plug you up right here. Oops, not that side. Now just hold still. Won't hurt a bit. There. You see, you hardly felt it, did you? Okay, down we go. So what we're going to do is oil this once we've got enough of it out. We want the dark brown off, right? this can't be good for my shoulder. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Okay, I think we're gonna... Should we try it some more? Let's bend this and get that part right there against it. It's negative 13 here today and snowing and snowing. It's really lovely. I'm so glad I delivered those things this morning. I think I left here about 7:30 or something. And I got home about 9. Something like that. Alright, that's good enough. So now we will oil it. Take our handy dandy oil, any kind of oil if it works. Works wonderfully. So we'll just put some oil on it. And then we'll rub it around. Now look at that, isn't that beautiful? You'd never know that was the same piece at all, eh? Isn't that lovely? See, this is what it was like before. Actually, it was more like that. Then we'll wipe off the excess. Like waxing the floor. I guess you could go in circular motion if you wanted to. Put it into all the little bits. Be careful you don't snag on a crack and rip it. Okay, so now this is going to be, it could be the inside or it could be the outside, whatever we prefer. So let's now make a square inside of this. So if we made our square like that, we would have short sides. Or we could make a square like this. I'm going to make it a perfect square. That's not a perfect square at all. But it's a lot better than the last time I made one. Okay, how about that? Okay, so then we're going to put it in the oven again and let it warm up. Because we can, let's see, wash outside. Let me see, I'll go back up. Lots of things happening here today. Okay, hi, Suze. Suze says good morning. Susan and Ernst says hello, Nancy, good morning. Susan says hi, Suze. Ellen says good morning, Nancy and all. Susan says, I wonder if sandpaper would work better. Ha, smart idea. Good morning, Ellen. Nice to see you, dear lady. That's from Susan to Ellen. Gina says good morning. Susan said, great minds think alike. Yes, indeed. We've been around each other a long time. Hi, Susan. Hope your morning is going great. Yes, Nancy. 2 blocks behind me. That's very close, isn't it? Wow. So you could go get them in their strollers, take a walk with them, and go home. Hi, Ellen. How are you today? Hope you are doing good. Hi, Regina. Yes, I am good. I hope everyone is doing well and continue to do so. Love and hugs from White, Wisconsin. I like it when it's white, don't you? Hope everyone is well. It was good until I seen snow outside. Yes, snow, snow, snow. Oh, be careful if you have to go out today. Say your prayers. Is there a lot of snow out my window, ladies? They're all in Wisconsin, eh? We got enough to make it miserable on the roads and sidewalks. Be careful when you venture out. My husband went out at 3:30 to plow and salt. He works for the city of Jefferson, Wisconsin. I think we have been getting like an inch at a time, but often. Yes, I find sometimes you go get an inch every day. It's not much. It doesn't bother you, but after a while, you got a lot of snow out there if you haven't been plowing it. Yes, I'm feeling better. It stopped here and the sun is bright, makes it feel warm. I placed the oven on to warm up my kitchen. Next week, upper 40s all week. Oh, nice. As long as it's not raining. Ugh. Oh, I shouldn't say negative things. Oh, it's trying to shine here too. Oh, that's a nice thought, Regina. 40s, eh? It's very bright here. It's blinding. Yeah, sometimes you have to wear glacier glasses is what they're called, I think, because if it's bright and it's white, sometimes it gets to be pretty too bright. And Ellen, I'll push the sunshine up towards y'all. It should be on its way up very soon. I have to blow it up towards y'all. Good luck, Regina. We are going to set up a greenhouse over my washer to warm it up to wash clothes outside. Can't wait for warmer weather. Really? You wash your clothes outside in Wisconsin? I have a friend in Texas that has her wash machine in the garage. I don't have a lot of air when blowing. I know, you just got to work on those lungs. Just like Ellen says. Ellen, that should really be interesting and cool being something I do. Sounds like something I do. Okay, hi, binary boy. Yes, snow. Isn't it lovely? And it's snowing even. Oh, I'm starting to smell it. When you smell things, they're done, usually. Oh, it's very done. It's hot. Ooh, why is it so rolled up? That's no good. I don't want it to roll up. I want it to unroll. I put it in too long. Oh dear, look, it's cooked it. Well, there you go. Learn something else. I think some of the oil went through those little holes and has cooked it now. What we could do now for a little while is we could put something heavy on it to hold it open. We're making a birch bark square box, I think. That's the plan. This is heavy enough. Turn it that way. Well, I think we'll have to stick this on it. That ought to do it. Ha! It's nothing a little force can't help. Oh, it's okay. I can redeem it. I'll just let it be there like that. I just wanted it a little warm to be able to bend the sides. I sprayed around the cats, around the what is it I'm saying? The birds and the squirrels and the chipmunks? No, the red squirrels and the black squirrels. I sprayed my cat repellent around there. My cat repellent is lavender and something else. I can't remember. A couple of things I found in the other room. Eucalyptus, I think, and lavender. Let's have some tea. But we're going to have to change this wash machine because now that is washed. Ah, way too much honey. What was I thinking? Okay, so it is done. Oh, look at all these nails. Oh, I guess they were in my pocket. So that's what it looks like now. Isn't that different? Look how clean it is. Wow, that borders on beautiful. Okay, so let's put it on dry. So, use that one. 13, I guess, is dry. Thin out some of that honey. Honey? Wasn't that a great day we had yesterday cooking? So much fun. I'm going to cook again today. Okay, let's see if this has done any good now. Okay, I'm just going to put it in for just a moment. It's not going to be very easy to turn it, to bend it that way. I think we're going to just have to bend it this way. So we'll take this and we'll put it in the middle here. And then we're going to cut to the edges, the corners. There we go. Okay, and then these are going to bend upward along this line. Okay. And this one is going to bend up along this line. We don't want to break it. And then these are going to fold in. Boy, it does not have any give to it at all. Maybe I shouldn't have oiled it yet. Okay, and then these are also going to go up. And hold it in the corners and okay, so now this part, we're going to cut this so it's kind of rounded. Hold everything. That's not right. These are this long. This wasn't square. Bummer. Okay. And that'll change where it gets bent now. But it snapped. Did you hear that terrible little sound too? Alright, and so this part can be cut in a circle-ishness. I made that side too short. Okay, so then this still is not going to work. I think I've already bent it, so now I'm stuck with doing it that way. It sure made it smaller, didn't it? Okay. That didn't work at all. I shouldn't have done it that way. But now we can put clips on it. Now where are all my clips? Let's use clothespins, shall we? Clothespins are always... We'll use clothespins. I happen to have two of them right here. They're on their way out to that green bag where they live. Oh, you're so close. Much too close, you know. You must keep your distance. Okay, let's... Oh yeah, mistakes are awesome. If it weren't for mistakes, I wouldn't have a clue how not to do things. Okay, so this one. And this one. Yeah, I'd rather do it that way. That's better. Remember when I made these clothespins? Was I doing a YouTube video of it that day? I bet I was. Because I was always doing a YouTube video. And then we need to do the same for this side. Now, should we have those on the inside or outside? I think they would look better on the inside, actually. Okay. It's better to get a proper template. Oops. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna make holes. The best thing to make a hole with is a star screwdriver. What is that called? Phillips. So let's see where is one. Here's one. We'll use this and we'll need a hammer. Look at that. Someone put them up on this pegboard. Wasn't that smart of her? That was Nancy yesterday. Nancy yesterday is my good friend. She really helps me out. She's made this same mistake twice though. Looks like someone plucked a herd of chickens. Where? What happened? It's like your experience was much worse than mine. The washer and have had it happen, opening up the dryer and had it blown all over the place and me. Oh, with your comforter. Oh, feathers. Oh, yes. That sounds like it was a no fun job. I hope it wasn't your favorite pillow. Gee, I missed all this. I washed a feather pillow once long ago in a wash machine. When I opened the lid, I had feathers everywhere. Blew up in the washer. My drain was plugged. It took hours to clean up. When your washing machine pump goes, it will be nails, screws, or quarters in it. I know. I know. I always get it done. Well, yes, I do. However, some things I give up on. Okay, so we're going to make a hole here. The reason you want to use this is because you don't, if you make it with lots of things like that or a triangle, it's good because you don't end up with cracking into a whatever that is. It worked on that side, but this side didn't. Yes, watch that glass cooktop. Good thing you said that. Okay, let's go get something to put in these little holes. Hey, you know what? You can use little sticks to hold it, and you can make pegs like that. But let's just use safety pins for now. Ha 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 ha. Hi, Willem. Good morning. Okay, let's go back to this. There we go. Not perfect, but it works. Okay, let's move over off of the glass cooktop. Oh, and we have to plug you up again too. So much involved. Okay, I think it's time to go sit down and do something else for a while. And we'll come back to it when we feel like it. What do you say? I think that's the best idea. Because after all, look what we've accomplished. We softened it, and then we Once it was soft, we bent it, we cut it, we cleaned it. You'd never know any of those things had any value, of course, by now. But we aren't thinking that way. So we did accomplish something. Hey, these Swiss chards are getting very These Swiss chards are getting very big here beside me. Let's watch the birds, shall we? We'll turn it around. We'll see what the birds are up to this morning. Good morning. Are you having a hard time finding something? Sorry, that's a loud noise. I'll just there you go, chickadees. Sure smells good out here. Eucalyptus and lavender. No cats allowed. Whoopsie. That obviously did not work. There he is. Nice little birds. I wonder if the turkeys are wandering around during the daytime when it's snowing like this. Yeah, me too. I also love my animals. Oops, sorry. That's it. I should be sitting. And why didn't I think of that? I actually do have a kitchen table, you know. Like that would just be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? I'll turn you around again. There. Would you like a cup of tea too? You don't have to have as big a one as this. Well, Harry's back. And oh no, two Harrys. Harry and Harry. Not to be confused with Harriet. Oh, so one of you told me yesterday, I forget who it was, but somebody told me yesterday that was bad not to remember, that the 4 turkeys that we had were all females. I thought there was one with a little dangly thing that was just little. It looked like a little chunk of fleece, like one of those little loopy things. Oh, these guys are talking to each other. They're dancing. Look at this. They're doing the spring dance. One's on the trunk and one's on. Uh-oh, can you still see them both? No. See how they've got their back to the wind? Well, maybe not completely. Hello, Harry and Harry. Oh, they're 2 males. They're not doing a mating dance. Wait a minute, that one on the tree that's straight up, is she vertical? I mean, is it a female? No, I see red. It has to be 2 males. Maybe they're just not very smart. Maybe they dance the same dance if they're males, and females dance a slightly different one. But you'd think they would know. You'd think they'd give off some pheromones or something. I'm glad that washing machine is making that fleece so clean. I might be able to do something with it. I thought it was kind of wrecked. You want to see how snowy it is out this way? I guess you can see it right there, can't you? I don't have to always be changing everything. Change it, change it, change it. I'll change it anyway. Ta-da! Very snowy in the hills. That's where the turkeys went. They went right up that hill and over the top. Boy, am I ever glad I'm home now. Look at that snow on the ground. Look at that's the top of the pumpkin. All right, we'll go back to watching these birds. It's a bird watching moment here. Oh, one is there and one is above them. I think I should have put that other feeder up higher on the hook so that I can see it from in here. You know, I put all those pillows out and now it's getting snowed on. I don't feel like bringing them back in though. They're just hunkering down. My mother used to smear peanut butter on the trunk of a tree. Boy, is it ever coming down hard. Look at that. Not very visible, eh? It's like a little blizzard. And a third one joins the game. Oh, look at this. Now that's a female. Well, now you have lots of admirers, don't you? You have a cold glass of Pepsi. Oh my gosh. I have coffee to get my flicker, my ticker ticking. Ah, yes. I have a cold glass of Pepsi with ice in it. Was just on FaceTime with granddaughter. She is now a climber. Oh, wow. Nice, eh? Okay, so can you still see them both? Keep getting all these notifications showing up. Okay. Oh, I see. It's sort of blocked, isn't it? Oh, on the lower feeder. Yes. This is a female down there. So that's Harriet. Hi, Harriet and Harry. Excellent, Ellen. Should be a proud grandmother moment. Tea and cloves for you, eh, Ellen? Well, I am drinking ginger and cinnamon tea. Just with a little honey, straight from too much honey, straight from the spices. Willem is taking a liking for rosemary lately. What do you use rosemary on the most? Now, can you see that one up higher? So this one's down there. There's two of them. One's on that feeder, and the other is at the crook of that tree. Let's see, right there and right there. This is a female, that's a male. He's kind of crouching in there. You're a popaholic. Remember that, girls, when we go on our road trip to Nancy's. All right. This is going to be fun when you get here. I guess I don't really need to clean the house. It's not like it's going to be a surprise. But I will. But we might be gone between May and October, except on the weekends. Or Sunday and Monday. Mondays, I guess. But you can camp where we're going to be. That's right. We'll do a camping trip. You can come and be with us at the camp. I mean, you have to come here too, but then we'll hang out over there. I can't wait to work on the trails over there. I hope there are trails in the woods. I never walked on them when I visited there. Okay, I think we've had enough of this one. I think we should look over here at this one. I think that's so pretty. You had tea before bed. It was delicious. And what did you say? I'm not sure. Some kind of sleepy time tea. Oh, it's a new superfood. Oh, well, we have to keep up with this. Yes, I am feeling better. My stomach was a mess this morning. Or what? I don't think it was my stomach. I think it was the... Isn't that beautiful? I think it was the... I should open the curtains, shouldn't I? I think it was muscles. I think that not my intestines where you'd usually get cramping, but it was up in below my ribs. That whole belly area was cramping, which is kind of weird. All right, let's see what we can do about this other window. I'll have to let you watch this one while I get the other one ready. It's time to turn the couch around and watch it out this window. Let me just rearrange our house here for a moment. That's not gonna work. Go this way. Ouch. Push, push, push. Over there. Pull here. And shove, shove, shove. Here. Why am I such a mess? Oh, that was a negative thing to say about myself. Okay. Okay, this is going to be perfect. You didn't know perfect was so easy. Okay, bring your cord. You and your IV. I have to take such good care of you, you know. Oh, you're looking the wrong way. There. Of course, you can't see the birds so much this way, can you? But you can see that beautiful white tree. Oh, lay down here. Sorry, I didn't mean to lay on top of you. There we go. There. Now you can see me and you can see the beautiful tree. There. Hello, hello. Boy, is it ever snowing. Look at it out this window. It's coming right down. So is it snowing where you are? Okay, let's see what else we said. Oh, that's right. No, we go camping during the week with me. You camp where we'll be, because we're going to be at a campground. We're going to be like assistant directors of the campground. And this is where church families come and church groups come, and they have all their camping lessons, and you know, it's like scouting for the girls, and the men and the fathers and sons have stuff, but we will be the ones in charge of mowing the grass and trimming the bushes and maintaining the trails, and if something breaks, we fix it. So I think there's 3 couples that are in charge of this camp. It's about 100 acres. A lot of it is forest, and it's in the wilderness in northern Ontario. Oh, you have Crohn's. Oh. No pancakes today for the two 10-year-old grandkids. Just cereal this morning, so I'm making my breakfast of 2 pancakes. I used to like having pancakes, but I could never eat them because I didn't feel good after I ate them. Or at least I couldn't accomplish anything. Now, what's wrong with this? Is the window here, and that's the window there. That's what's going on. Hey, you want to open the window? You want to look outside? You want to get up close and personal with this? See, we can just open the door. Oh, look at that. I'm going to turn you around and oops, sorry. I'll turn you around. I'll let you listen to it. Nope, didn't miss my chair. So I guess we're going to have to put chickadee food right here on this table thing again after I warm up. Oops. Would you like to see the names of the books? These were my grandfather's books. Last Lion, Volume 2. What is that? The Butterick Sewing Machine Handbook. That was my mother's. The British People. Yeah, I think we're going to have fun camping, won't it? The Newcombs, Volume 2. The Index of England or something. What's this one? Oh, look at that. It's upside down. Inside Asia. The Chrysanthemum and the Sword. The Cantos of Ezra Pound. Nope, there's no... Well, there may be, but there... As long as you don't have food in your tent, you'll be all right. And we'll have a kitchen area. Like the groups will be there cooking meals, and we could probably have some, except most of it'll be things like pizza and macaroni. Whatever teenage kids like when they go on retreats. And there'll be some families there camping, and then there'll be groups, like big groups, like the youth conference, I guess it's called, where they're from 14 to 18-year-olds. And they go camping and they have lessons. So they have to learn things like they have to learn making fires, and they have a manual and they have to check it off. And they have to learn first aid, and then they'll do something like I've been there at times when they'll be like, oh no, an emergency. Oh no, someone has fallen and broken her leg, or someone has hurt herself and we must rush and help. So that's how they test all the girls to make sure they know how to do things. And lug some counselor back to camp. Poor guys. I was showing you these books. This is interesting. I've never looked at the names of these books too much. That one is also upside down. Barry Lyndon Deans Duval. Oh, Deans. D-E-N-I-S. Dennis Duval, sorry. Barry Lyndon. And this one is Yellow Flush Papers. I think, oh, this is a book that I got in, see if I can do this without getting a cramp in my toes. There we go. This is a book I got in Jordan. It's made out of banana leaves, I think. It's just paper. Oh look, barleycorn weave. This must be where, Prussian diapers, this must be where I was going to write down all of those. See, it's perforated lines. Isn't that a beautiful book? But of course I didn't do anything with it, and it was stored outside. And so, you have a metal lockbox, eh? Isn't that neat? Wouldn't it be fun to do something like this? Ah, a lockbox and bear spray. Yes, that's very good. There'll be deer, maybe moose. I don't know if there's moose or there. Famous stories. Best Green Eats Ever, Dictionary of American Antiques. What in the world is that one? Oh, it has a name. What does it say? Can't read it. Oh, if I got closer, I might be able to look. What does it say? The Collector's Guide to Antiques and whatever. A-N-L, upside down L though, A-N something I-O-U-S. Who knows? And this one, what is this one now? Modern Algebra. Oh, I think that was my algebra textbook. A Pony for Jean. I think that was my mother's book when she was little. She was a horse girl. Journey Through New England. Planning Functions in Urban Government. Yep, these are important books. Some are my mother's, and some are my father's, and some are my grandparents'. What do we got down here? How to Settle an Estate. That's a very important book, right? Anne Boleyn. When We Were Very Young. That's by Milne. That's like Pooh. And what's that little one without a binding? Robert Larcy, The Kingdom of Arabia and the Horses of Sod. Can you tell my dad was... My dad was a geography professor. Henry David Thoreau. Oh, they all cramp at once. I don't like it when I get toe cramps or other cramps. What is this one? You got to drink more water. Easy something, 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 something. Sight readers? Yeah, I like the banana leaf book too. I think that's pretty cool. Well, the bears wouldn't necessarily be nice. No, I didn't miss the chair. I just sat on you. Okay, so what is this one? Field Guide to Early American... What? Where did we go? Oh, that's the top shelf. To Early American Aristotle? No. The Pocket of... I can't read them. I'm too far. Okay. Field Guide to the American Furniture. Early American Furniture. You see, my parents had all this stuff from my grandparents. And the Pocket Aristotle. What in the world is that? Overcoming the Pain of Inflammatory Arthritis. The Art of Thinking. I like that one. I like thinking. Do you have attention deficit disorder? That's my book. Proverbs to Live By. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Oh, shall we read until today? What does it say? Ayanala Van Zant. Until today. I don't know what that is. Canada before Confederation. Dum-da-dum. Russian for Travelers. German for Travelers. Little Things. Diet for a Small Planet. That was my book when I was a teenager. I wonder what that one is. And what have we got over here? No idea. Do you think I should keep these books? Queen of Scots. Okay, enough of that. Still snowing. Da-dum, da-dum. It's a snowy day. It was a snowy day. All the birdies in the trees. that beautiful when they hold the snow up so nicely? That makes it look like wintertime. There's birds in those trees. I gotta put some food on this. But not yet. We still have to work on our basket. So, now this basket, it may have worked better if we had divided it into a thinner basket. You stunk in math or numbers. My kids were good, but not me. I felt bad trying to help them. Geography, not you. I've always liked self-help books. It would buy me some time to get into my car and honk the horn to scare it away. I love Tom Sawyer. Yeah, when I was getting the dishes from my grandmother's, the boxes that they had packed up at my grandmother's so long ago, they had wrapped it up in the newspaper. And some of the newspaper, it must have been wrapped up a lot earlier than that, because there was newspaper articles about, like there were advertisements for when it's your coming out party, like your 16th, I forget what it was called, but, and it had all these beautiful dresses. I used to have beautiful dresses like that. I can remember that, being young and having those beautiful dresses. We lived in the north, and I guess that was a New York thing. My grandmother was very much into, she was quite creative, but she was a very fancy, fine woman. And she had parties with her guests. Her husband was a doctor, and she would go to all the ladies' luncheons, and she was an amazing cook. She had a big herb garden. All right. Sure. Yes. ADD is quite an adventure, isn't it? I'll read you. Want to read the symptoms? Let's get that book over here. Look at that. No, that's inflammatory arthritis. Which one is it? It was the next one over. I misjudged with the feet. Here it is. Do you have attention deficit disorder? A breakthrough guide to ADD in adults. Oh, okay. So we have a Jasper screening test. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have not at all, just a little, somewhat, moderately, quite a lot, and very much. So we'll just go through. You could just say a little or nothing or not. At home, work, or school, I find my mind wandering from tasks that are uninteresting or difficult. 5, totally. I get bored with talking. I find it difficult to read written material unless it's very interesting or very easy. Yeah, pretty much. Especially in groups, I find it hard to stay focused on what is being said in conversations. You always get the books called the books for idiots. That's me. Well, I think that they're just written properly. There's so many directions and things that are so complicated, and like, what's the point in complicating everything so it's not understandable? I'm not sure that the complicated words are better words for subjects sometimes, you know. I have a quick temper, a short fuse. No, I don't. It was when Mexican girls turned 16. Oh, you mean like the coming out parties? I gotta see if you said something before that. You want to see those books when you come. Interesting. You have ADHD too. Ah, Regina. So you guys just jumped into the conversation. There are 6 of you. Am I counted as one? I say things without thinking and later regret having said them. Ha ha ha, yes, totally. My mother must have done this. See if, because she did it and she has a quick temper. No. I'm irritable and get upset by minor annoyances. Nope. Especially in groups, I find it hard to stay focused on what is being said in conversations. I do. Unless I'm interested. But if they stay on the same subject for too long, unless they're giving new information that's fascinating, I'm gone. But my mother, on the other hand, was a number 2. I say things without thinking and later regret having said it. She was only a 1. I am a 5. I may, oh, there goes another cramp in the old, it's like, it's a surface cramp. It's not inside. I make quick decisions without thinking about their possible bad results. Well, she did not. Well, she has a 2, which is what? Somewhat. Mine is a 5. My relationships with people are made difficult with my tendency to talk first and think later. Ah! No H for me. That's how we get lost. That's what Ellen said, but I don't think, get lost in conversations all the time. Yes. I've checked off all in that book you're reading off. Okay. We are very similar, you guys. My relationships with people are made difficult by my tendency to talk first and think later. You know what I'm just learning now? I'm trying not to talk about myself. I find that once I start talking, like I do on here, because I got the phone. But when I'm in a conversation, I'm trying to ask questions and not, yeah, me neither. Gardening is for you. Gardening is so good for us. My moods have highs and lows. Sort of. Mostly my moods are highs. I have some lows. And I always say to Willem, oh, anything today, I just sat in front of this television all day or whatever. I didn't get anything done. And he'll say, well, sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes you just have to relax. I have trouble, he's so smart, isn't he? I have trouble planning in what order to do a series of tasks or activities. She's got a 4 there. My mother was very good at keeping her tongue. She did not say what she thought. She would be silent. Of course, she came from a family that was very silent about their feelings. So she was more than like Mary's mom, my Aunt Ella. She would never talk about anything, nothing. So it's hard for Mary to talk. Hyper is key, but not everyone has a hyper. Yes, I like the hyper. I really like it when I have energy and I can tick off a lot of things. I made bread, I made Christmas stollen, I made cookies. Today I delivered them before it snowed. Now I'm making a video. And last night I pulled a whole pillow worth of fleece. Now it's not the whole pillow of fleece that I pulled. I pulled enough to make a pillow. So I pulled it all and it got all the bits of dirt and straw out of it. And then I put it all in the pillowcase. And then I put another pillowcase on the other way and I used it last night and it was the most wonderful pillow. Wow, I'm getting rid of all the other pillows and I'm going to make beautiful wool pillows. See if I'm allergic or not. I don't think so. I have trouble planning in what order to do a series of tasks or activities. You know, that generally shuts me down. Like when the house is a big mess, I have learned in my years of experience that if I start in a corner and work my way out, I can clean the whole room or the whole house. But if I start and look around at the huge mess, I have no idea what to do first. What's the most important? Well, who knows? It's all a mess. Everything is out of order. So that's my solution for that. And you know, it was a little frustrating doing that birch bark box or bag or whatever it is, container. And because it was going to crack. It wasn't going to work. I think the bark is too old. Anyway, some bark doesn't want to bend. So you just go with it. If it curls up, you just cut it so it's a curled up box. I become upset easily. No, I don't think so. Ellen says, my son went through school and I went to parent-teacher conference and not one of the teachers knew what his name was. He was lost in the system. Really? So you have ADD and not ADHD. Your son went through school and not one of the teachers knew what his name was. Wow. I guess if you just sort of, there was a fellow in our school, his name was Jeff Coleman, I think. And he was very quiet and he would keep his head down and he had a stack of books and he would always walk around with his stack of books and his head down a little bit, and he was very quiet, and you never really heard from him at all. I wonder what became of him. I bet he became filthy rich. I bet because of his exceeding academia, he probably did very well in the big world out there. Not like me, who kept changing my mind about what I wanted to major in. I wanted to major in Spanish because I liked it. And then I wanted to major in, you have ADD and not ADHD. I'm not hyper. And neither is Susan, right? Susan is not hyper. Me, I'm hyper, which I like. I seem to be thin-skinned and upset, and many things upset me. Yeah, if a child in school is not a problem, and everybody knew me because I talked all the time. I always got a C in citizenship. They don't have that in Canada, C in citizenship, I don't think. That would be conduct. That's what they should have called it, conduct. I was not a good citizen. I would end up in the hall all the time. I got to know the sides of the doorways very well, and I knew what was going on because all the classes were walking one at a time down to the cafeteria, and now and then there would be somebody else out in the hall, just occasionally, and so I could see them. Nowadays, that's good that it's helped you on your down days. Mary used to be flat as a pancake in the winter. She was just had no life at all. It has to do with, well, the lack of light, and we sort of hibernate. And then while we're sort of hibernating, we lose our creativity, and when you have no energy or your body doesn't work, there's so many things that you can't do. So even thinking about things to do is like, well, why would I even think about all that? I can't do any of it. And then especially the more we get chair bound, more joints that don't work, and when our back doesn't work, none of our fault, and then as we sit in a chair all the time, we don't get any exercise, and we get bigger, and then it's worse. Everything gets worse. I'm speaking from experience, of course. And so then you have to find things to do that are in the chair. And if you have a Willem who will go and get things for you, that's lovely. But if you don't, you have to think ahead of time and and there were kids in my class. You can count to 10 in Spanish and know a few colors. All the rest I get lost. I find I'm better if I'm looking at the written word or if I can see their mouth. I really need to see people's mouths to know what they're saying. I'm a very visual person. Okay, we've got to get back to this. I'm almost always on the go. Yes. Not Nancy. What does it say? Not Nancy. I'm glad that this has helped you. I like staying busy too. Okay. I got caught up, I think. Except I don't know what you meant about not Nancy. The trouble with this thing is I think there's probably quite a lag because we have very slow internet. And so when you're saying it, like right now, it is 2 minutes to 11 and 32 seconds after. You see, and by the time you get this, it might be 45 seconds after. Why couldn't they have just said there's about a 10-second lag? And so when you're writing it down, right after I say something, you write it and send it. But by the time I get it, I'm a few sentences ahead and maybe even another topic. You never know. Okay, in conversations, I start to answer questions before the questions have been fully asked. Okay, Susan, I create stuff constantly. I always got to be knitting or hand sewing or something. I find it easier to do smaller items that something like an Afghan that take for right than an Afghan that takes forever. Ellen, you've got to go to court today and next week, and you shake all over just thinking about it. Is there going to be a trial? Do you have to be, you're going to be on jury duty? I've never been called to jury duty. They know why. Somebody knows a lot about me, I guess. That's it. Okay, don't shake about it. Have faith. Just hold Heavenly Father's hand, and everything will be fine. Just relax. I'm assuming. I mean, maybe you know more about it than me, but think of the worst possible scenario and then accept it. And then everything less is okay. Okay. I'm almost always on the go. Yes. I am more comfortable. It's okay to interrupt. I am more comfortable when moving than when sitting still. Well, sometimes. No, not necessarily. I like sitting still too much. But I like to be entertained when I'm sitting still, and I don't necessarily do something. Like, I don't like to sit down and read a book. My son-in-law just got a letter for Judy to... You know, this is really cold by this door. I think I should take some fleece. I should hang a whole thing of fleece over it and then cut out the windows. Or I could just... See, if you look up at the top, look at that. It needs to be put in tighter. How would you do that? I mean, I could screw it in tightly. That would work. That would keep it in place, but you're not supposed to do that. Or some kind of a clamp that comes down and that would lock it in place. I don't know. Okay, back to the book. In conversations, I start to answer questions before the questions have been fully asked. Yes, I probably do, because I interrupt all the time. I interrupt myself all the time. I usually work on more than one project at a time and fail to finish many of them. I'll do 90% of every task. Because by the time I get to 90%, it's like the most of it is done. The rest is just details. The rest is just frosting. And also, I'll just do it until I know how to do it. And once I've mastered it, then I move on. Got to learn something else. I've already learned that. Why would I want to do that again? That's why I don't make baskets and give baskets away or sell baskets or make soap and sell soap, because once I've learned how to do it, I don't need to do it all the time. I guess I'm all about learning. I just want to know. Okay. There is a lot of static or chatter in my head. How did you know? One day I took something for my ADHD, and it started with a D. I can't remember what it was now, and it made me have no thoughts. I was quite calm and very clean, and everything around me became tidy. But I had no thoughts, and I just thought, what's happened to all my thoughts? I need those thoughts. Those are important. I think it's like a window to heaven. It's an inspiration window. These thoughts are not mine. I don't come up with them. I like having a lot of projects, Ellen. Ellen just said, me too. It's there when I get to it. I'd like to have projects on the go. Like you know how many projects I've got on the go. I have the fleece. I have to pull all the fleece. I have to wash it first. I have to sort it, and some of it's sorted, some of it's washed, some of it's pulled. But they're all in pillowcases now, and they're all at different stages. And then there's the laundry. Well, there's always something interesting to do with the laundry. Why would you want to do it all at once? You get a backache. So I just do it when I feel like it. I know people think you're supposed to have a schedule. We used to say when we were little, I'll do it when the Spirit moves me. oh, that medicine is bad. Yeah, I like having my thoughts. Okay, we'll go back to this. Oh yeah, the different projects. Well, I have a little cedar basket in the bathroom, which I put there on by the sink so that I would wet it and finish doing it. Guess I could finish doing it sometime while I'm chatting with you. And then there's my garden. I'm supposed to be putting all those hooks up in the ceiling, and I gave up and put just 4 hooks up, and now the rope I put up has pulled one of the hooks almost out of the wall. It's pulled it 45 degrees. But anyway, there's a lot of things to do, and then I can be there and look around at it, and then I'll do it, right? It's like all the books in my bookcases. One day I can read them, if I feel like it, but I'll have to do one day, otherwise I won't ever do any. Even when sitting quietly, I'm usually moving my hands or feet. No, I'm not. My son is. He used to tap his feet, bang the table, like the whole world was moving when you're near him. In group activities, it is hard for me to wait my turn. My mother has a 0 here. No, it's not hard for her to wait her turn. She's so good. My mind gets so cluttered that it is hard for it to function. Sometimes, not so much. I take Celexa, and Celexa does help my brain. It helps me not to get depressed too. And it helps me to what was it? It helps my mind not to be so cluttered that I can't function. There are days, real ADHD days where, oh, I've got to do this, but first I've got to do that. Oh, but I better do this. No, I better do that. Oh, and then I better do this. No. And so I go jumping back and forth trying to do the most important thing, but I have no idea what the most important thing is. And things like schedules are difficult, aren't they, Regina? I mean, some things, priorities, it's just as high a priority for me to get the cookies out of the oven as it is to make frosting for to frost those Christmas stones yesterday. So the cookies burned. Well, they didn't burn. I put them in a beautiful big jar and I took them down to Frank. You remember Frank. He's the resident hermit up the road. He's the one. Let me tell you about some of the videos with Frank. So one video he had the frogs. We were filming frogs. Another video he has all these dogs. We had a dog named Shania for a few weeks. And I gave it to him because he was alone. And now he has like 20 dogs. And he does sledding dog races. And they go running through the woods. If it helps, take it, Nancy. I have the same I take from time to time. I don't have the bottle near me, but I know it. Yeah, the Celexa, if you take too much, you get heart murmurs or heart arrhythmia or something. But I do like it. That's the only thing I take. And I don't take it except, I need to start it in about August. And I take it till about April or March. April, I guess. But by then, as long as there's enough light, I'm okay. So I always forget to take it. Okay, next question. In group activities, it's hard to wait my turn. Yes, my mind gets so cluttered that it's hard for me to function, only sometimes. My thoughts bounce around as if my mind were a pinball machine. Yes. You only have to watch my videos for a little while. My brain feels as if it were a television set with all the channels going at once. Well, actually, my brain is more like it's looking. It's always out there paying attention to all the channels to see what's interesting. And then once I find something interesting, and I find this with children, that some children that are like me, they get so wild, but as soon as you give them something to do, then they're focused. And so Desmond and I were playing Minecraft the other day. And he was like shooting me and throwing, bows and arrows shooting me. And he was wandering around in my grass hut village in the game. I mean, settlement like mine. And he was breaking blocks and looking in the chests, and now things are missing. And so I said, oh, do you know a dog? Have you ever tamed a dog? And so I
I spawned a wolf and showed him how to tame it. And next thing you know, he was taming a whole bunch of these things, but give him a bone, they tamed, and they were following him around. And then he was running around. All these dogs were running after him, and he loved it. But you see, that's what was going on with his head, is when there's nothing to do or nothing to focus on, then he just starts doing whatever, right? Like clicking on all kinds of things that were breaking him. Anyway, so my thoughts bounce around as if my mind were a pinball machine. No, wait, that's the other one. My brain feels as if a television set with all the channels going at once. I am unable to stop daydreaming. Boy, my mother's got zeros for all of these. I am distressed by the disorganized way my brain works. So her total was 27. Now, there are how many questions? There were 24 questions, and so 24 times 5, what's that, 125? Or 120 something? And so scores, this is a screening examination for adult ADD. It is not a diagnostic test. Scores over 70 are associated with a high probability of ADD. Over 70, you say, I have 120. The diagnosis of ADD can only be made on the basis of a detailed history and psychiatric examination. Symptoms resembling those of ADD may result from anxiety, depression, mania, and other disorders. These conditions must be ruled out by a psychiatrist before a diagnosis of adult ADD can be made. Really makes no difference if you get diagnosed or not. You just have to live with it. But you know, it says in the scriptures that the Lord gives, I, the Lord, give unto men weaknesses that they may be humble. And if they humble themselves and come unto me, I will make their weaknesses into strengths. So, if you think about it, ADD and ADHD. With ADHD, I am guaranteed to screw up multiple times in my life. Yeah, that's good. You are a good listener. But my mom always said I'd be late to my own funeral because I've never been on time because I never go by a schedule. That's all right. I have the same I take from time to... Oh, that's what you said. I'm a great listener. If I can listen to you and read at the comments at the same time, that's pretty good. Yes, that's very good. Well, the comments relate to the conversation generally, so it's not too difficult. But I get a little bit confused when I'm... Okay, so if prior to taking this examination, you think you have a 50-50 chance of having ADD, and if you score over 70 on the test, then you have a 95% chance of having ADD, according to Dr. Goldberg. This assumes that you have had medical and psychiatric evaluations that have ruled out other causes of attentional problems, like hysteria. It does help to know you have to help compensate for it. Yeah. So do you have it too, Ellen? All right. Another self-rating test. For those of you who enjoy tests, here's a simple yes/no test that I have designed myself. Do I have ADD? Yes or no. 1. I'm late much more than other people. Ta-da, I'm back. There you are. It's that IV. I know it's your liquid energy. So I'm late much more than other people. Am I late much more than other people? See, I had to make a thing about being early. And so I would try to go early, so I would just sit there and write in my journal, like I had a purpose. So I wouldn't, and the reason for that has to do with our perception of time. Like if I have an appointment at 4 o'clock, I'm thinking 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, oh, I have all these things to do. I can do stuff till almost 4 o'clock. But really, I cannot do things until 4 o'clock. I can do things until it's time to go, until I have to leave. So I need to subtract travel time, right? If it's a 5-minute drive, I can, but then I have to also subtract from my time for playing, getting ready to go to the car. Oh yeah, found out from learning about it from my son. Yes. I can't wait until other people stop talking before interrupting. Yes. I daydream a lot, and often people say to me, "Did you hear me?" Huh? And when you're in a conversation and you don't want to say, "I stopped listening after the first sentence, and we're now like 20 sentences in, and I've lost you completely," because it seems like it's rude. My father used to get quite irritated at me that I hadn't listened. I hadn't heard him. "Why don't you listen, Nancy? Just listen when I'm talking. Stop talking and listen. You're always 15 minutes early." I like to be early because then I'm not late. But left to my own devices, like one day somebody was coming to visit and she was going to be here at, say, 2 o'clock. And so it was like 1 o'clock, and I kept thinking she's going to be here, she's going to be here, she's going to be here. And so I was focused on it. And then I went and stood outside, and I was waiting for her to come up the road. And then I started wandering around, and before I knew it, I was having a walk in the woods when she came. It was like, ta. I can live in my daydreams. Yes, then you can always have a warm sandy beach under your feet, and you can be basking in the sun, no matter what the day. When you have to go to jury duty and you start getting worried or something, just pretend you're basking in the sun, laying on the porch. I've never done jury duty. I think it would be fun. I would like to do a case where you have to figure out if they murdered somebody or not. I think that would be really cool. Weigh all the evidence. Okay. LOL, not you, the screen. Okay, I got that. So where are we? We're on... Sometimes I feel like a fish out of water. Well, how does that feel? Gasping for air. I don't think that's what they mean. This is a really cold draft coming here. What can I do? This whole door is ice cold. It's metal. How can I make it warmer here? I could hang a drape in the center. Ha! So easy. I'm so glad I thought of that. Okay, next. I feel like a fish out of water. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong. Wherever I go, I don't belong. But belonging, I think you have to pretend you belong, and then you do. I learned that too. There was a Reader's Digest article once about belonging. Actually, I think it was a church ad. So sometimes I forget to eat meals. Well, I don't really forget to eat. I eat when I'm hungry. I haven't been hungry yet, so I haven't eaten yet. I did have some tea with honey in it twice. Those little birds are sitting in a tree, looking little round puffy birds up there. Can you see them from there? They're in the bear tree. Where's the bear tree? There. They're so round, they must be cold. Okay. Yeah, feeling like a fish out of water. I'm so different than everybody. Oh, tell us something about yourself. I have 7 teepees. I make grass huts. I weave. I'm a basket maker. I have 5 children. I like to garden. I have these hypertufa beds. I love to travel. I like to drive. Drowning. Ah, drowning, yes. Yeah, drowning. Like a fish out of water. Sometimes I'm drowning in chaos. And just trying to A towel? Wait a minute. Yeah, sometimes I don't like to commit myself to anything at all. Not anything. I don't want to commit myself to doing anything. You know, we were reading something. Oh, the birds sitting in the trees, kissing. Aw. Aren't they pretty? There's 5 of them now. Those are, what are they? Oh, those are finches. Those are house finches. Okay. Oh, you can't see me? Is it black now? Are you okay? Tell me. Oh, the screen is black. The screen is black. Oh, but we can turn it around. Okay, so I guess we better get off, because otherwise you won't be able to see me. Is it still black there? Oh dear, oh dear. This window is way too cold to sit beside. Elena's always done a huge garden and then sell at our local farmer's market. It's a lot of bending over. I did it a lot during my breast cancer treatment. How interesting, Regina. I sold soap at the farmer's market. Oh, so you can see me now? Or you cannot? The yes was meaning yes, you can? I certainly hope so. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. I daydream. No, that's where it was. Sometimes I forget to eat meals. I start many projects but finish few of them. Well, sometimes my projects are finishing projects. Oh, it's still black. Okay, then. Let's go and we'll meet up again soon. Okay? It's been lovely chatting with you. Oh, you want me to stay here anyway? All right, let's keep going. I often blurt out remarks and regret it later. Ta-da! I hate stopping at red lights. I don't mind. It's very hard for me to tell what others think of me. Well, I usually feel rejected pretty quickly. I can see as soon as I feel the vibes, like I can just tell that people, I'm so weird, I'm so different. And it's okay, people are fascinated to listen to me, but you see, that's why I've stopped talking about myself, because the turkeys have not arrived yet, and I think the snow has covered up all their corn. I gave them a bunch more corn last night. I build up a lot of debt on my credit cards. Well, I have in the past. I feel nervous and reckless. Sometimes, not usually. Restless. I have lost more than 5 things this week. I've lost the clicker for the TV, the remote. I lost the pens I've been using. That's 2 things. What else have I lost? Lost a lot of time. That was wasting it. All right, we'll finish this later. I'm going to stop because I'm not sure that anybody can see me anymore. Okay, well, we'll try it again. Because this one, I'll just get off and reboot, but I'm going to change positions because this is really drafty here. Okay, see you soon. Ta-ta. And remember, you can do this at home. Results may differ. And you heard it here last. I'll take the book with me. Be right back.